to be back on the show. Hello and welcome to the first edition of Journalist Hangout. This week, I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Nice to have you back. Today on the program, APC PDP mount pressure on INEC over supplementary elections in Benue, Kano and others as President Muhammadu Buhari promises not to influence outcome of the polls. And later on the show, Lagos State government demolishes 15 buildings with structural defects. I'll be hanging out with Mayor Akipelu and Dari Udufor-Okon. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for being with us once again. This scrabble for the governorship seats in states where supplementary elections are scheduled is taking a big toll on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The situation can be likened to the story of King Solomon and the two mothers laying claim to a baby. The major political parties in the contest, that is the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, and the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, are mounting pressure on INEC regarding which direction the outcome of the 6 states should go. In the face of this titanic struggle in the states, the presidency has warned that President Muhammadu Buhari won't interfere in the process to favor anyone. According to a statement by the presidential spokesman, Garba Shehu, President Buhari advised that party leaders in the states to work hard for people's votes rather than expect him to manipulate INEC. The race has been thrown open, or what do you think? Gentlemen, the first thing that came to my mind, somebody said it this morning that President Buhari is just being selfish. That after he has won the presidential election, that all he wanted was the presidential election. That in Imo, he went to tell the Imolites that vote for whoever you want to vote for. He gained from the Accord Party, he gained from the All Progressive Congress. In Ogun State, he went there too. He did not categorically campaign for his party. He said, vote for whoever you want to vote for. That he gained from the APM and he gained from the All Progressive Congress. So, cumulation of this is that you have different other political parties keen into the presidency of Muhammadu Buhari. Now, a Ganduje that gave him 1.4 million votes needs him. And he can say as a leading figure in a state like Kano that if a Buhari should make one or two consultations, not necessarily to rig the election in his favor, but let's us trading, talk to people, lobby one or two people on behalf of Governor Ganduje, that will save the day. What do you think, Mayor Akipelu?
I don't really agree with that argument because General Buhari has shown without doubt that he's not a good politician. That was why we had problem in the National Assembly, and he said he didn't want to get involved. The president is supposed to be the leader of the party, and he's supposed to have shown direction during the time of the Senate president. But we have someone who is not a politician, but he wanted to win the second term, and he did. And that was why he encouraged anti-party in Imo and Ogun, because what he did was strictly anti-party. What he encouraged anti-party, yes, in both Imo and Ogun. So you can now expect him, but I like what is happening. And why I like it is that it shows that despite the irregularities, despite the inadequacies within the system, it shows that we are moving forward, albeit slowly, but we are moving forward. Because if there's an election in Kano and the president could win with over 1 million votes, and 2 weeks after, the governor of that state is struggling for his life, it shows that the voters in Kano are so discerning. And sophisticated. Yes, they support the president. Yeah, they support APC.
But when it comes
to they have issues with the governor because the governor had a crisis before the election. It was shown stuffing dollars into his agbada. And in a Talakawa state like Kano, the elites of Kano are not happy with Ganduje. And they believe that, look, this man have not done well. If not that the governors have immunity, EFCC should have arrested him and it should have been made to account for what he did. Because if the voters are so discerning to say, look, yeah, we are going to vote for President Buhari, yeah, we are going to vote for APC, but we have issues with this governor, and because of that, we are not going to vote for him, that is very good for our politics. So I'm excited. Like President Buhari said, let everybody go to the field and convince the voters to vote for them. President Buhari doesn't have, though in fairness, when you want to look at it from the party point of view, President Buhari as a leader of the party should go to these states and try to make them win because they work for him to win. But yes, you said he's suffering, but this man is not a politician. He has shown that, or he's not a good politician. He's a politician, but he's not a good politician. He has shown that over time. So we cannot expect him to change now because he won't change. He's too old to change. So let everybody go and...
What do you make of this situation?
Well,
what they are at the verge of losing Kano, Bauchi,
at least
Sokoto.
4 states.
Yes.
At least APC is threatened in 4 states.
And when you lose Kano, you lose like 3 states.
When you lose Kano and it goes away with Sokoto, whichever party that is in trouble. I will say what is happening, while it is actually a gain to the people, it is a loss to party politics. The people will benefit from this in that we are now clearly, without any form of ambiguity, telling politicians it is either you perform or we'll chase you out.
No, 8 years is not guaranteed.
4 years. 4 years is no longer guaranteed as it is because you spend the last 2 years battling for a re-election you may not get. So it is good that we have a scenario where politicians will now be wary that you have a Buhari in your party. It's no longer an assurance that the Buhari magic is not going to work for some states as it is obvious now.
No.
However,
for the governorship. So the people will have their say, irrespective of who is your presidential candidate or who is the ruling president, irrespective of which party you are running from. The moment you are no longer popular with those who will cast the vote, you are in trouble. But what do we make out of this? As regards party politics, it is unfortunate that we will have a party struggling in a state in the governorship elections, and the leader of that party, in person of the president, will show lackadaisical attitude towards the fate of his own party. I have been watching events and I've been surprised that while INEC, you see, there is a rerun election. It happened in Osun in the last election. And we saw that week leading to that election, a lot of activity, campaigns here and there, party leaders moving in from even outside that state. The likes of national leader Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, governors of other states, making effort to ensure that APC, even the vice president. But 2 weeks, March 3rd, 23rd, from March 9, and it seems as if these governors are left on their own. The president even came out with a statement to say the president will not interfere. We need to understand the word interfere. Going there to seek for votes on behalf of your party is no interference.
It is not, yes.
It is no interference. It is loyalty, dedication, and patriotism to your own political party.
Or talking to opinion leaders.
Talking to opinion leaders and saying, look, why should Kano go away from the center? APC has unique selling proposition that they can use to win Kano, win Sokoto, win other states by simply saying, APC have won the center again. Don't allow your state to slip off the center. Yeah. But the president who should be doing that, he's saying, like Mayor said, he did it during the National Assembly issue. We saw the outcome. Now, right from Ogun, Imo, he showed this. I don't want to join those who say he's selfish, but I want to agree with you, sir, that he's either not a politician or he's a bad one.
Yes, but then again, we have to also look to consider certain things. When you look at Sokoto, for example, the governor of Sokoto, Tambuwa, is on ground.
Yes.
And why they lost at the federal level is because an average Sokoto voter feel more comfortable to vote for a Buhari than an Atiku.
Okay.
But when it comes to governorship election, it's a different ball game.
Yes.
They don't mind voting for Tambuwa.
Yes.
That is why we have that kind of issue there.
That's why we have political parties. That
yeah, I know.
I'm
just telling you that, yes, because
no, that's why you should not
that doesn't mean
move
it's an APC state, basically.
No,
it's just that
if it is not an APC state,
yes,
and APC is ruling the center, that they should enjoy the advantage of having
Yeah,
a
but
man
part of the problem is
Okay.
that how do you expect the elites
Gentlemen,
to support a
Gentlemen, we are not even
Ganduje?
talking
They
about
can't
Larry.
support Ganduje.
We are not even talking
let's
about
look
who
at the
wins now.
strategic part of it now. I've listened to people make analysis about Kano ahead of 2023
Yes.
on the part of PDP. That if PDP is
Clinch.
holding on to Kano and APC loses Kano, it's just like a reverse to the south person.
Yes, and a Lagos to the southwest.
Lagos to the southwest. You know how strategic Kano is. There's so much to be played for ahead of
Let me say something.
2023.
Yes, let me tell you something. Let me shock you. People may say that Mayor is talking crap, but in 2023, a lot of people will be shocked in this country because it is possible, so that I won't talk with finality, it is possible that the Northerners may not want to give up power.
Is it?
And what they are going to do is that when after the president finishes his term and the power comes back to the south in APC, if APC, for example, picks a Yoruba candidate or an Igbo candidate, it is not impossible that PDP will pick a northern candidate. And they will sell the idea. The power brokers in the north are already looking at 2023. And what they are going to do is that they are going to move their structure to PDP.
Mayor, I want us to be very clear about 2019 first.
Before
There's a whole lot of conspiracy theory about 2023. Is
let me even comment.
So then we need Kano can be
I
part
want
of that.
Talking about Kano
talk
now.
about this
Talking about
scheduled
Kano.
elections.
Talking about Kano. Even borrowing from what you have said, even if a party is also looking forward, it is not a
We want to be
state
looking
like
at it
Kano.
state by state.
That's what I'm
we
saying.
check Kano, we check
Let's look at
Sokoto,
Kano.
we check Bauchi.
What is happening?
How many
what is
figures?
happening in Kano?
Why the basis of the run?
PDP is in the lead marginally.
Yes.
The number of votes to be contested for is far more than
I'm
the
sure
lead.
our editor, our producer
Far
will
more
help out with
than
this
the
figure.
lead. Meaning that if
The
a party
statistics there.
like APC that is trailing, reaches out to the people very well, performs very well in the areas where the supplementary election is taking place, it can still overtake the PDP.
Of course.
Also,
There's no guarantee that PDP
also
will win
meaning,
this election.
it's
There's no guarantee that PDP will win the
also means
election.
that if PDP continues to retain the support of the people it appears to be enjoying, it can still win the election. In that regard, the contest in Kano to me is still even.
Very, very.
Very even and very open. For Governor Ganduje is in this not because it is not APC that is in this really. It is Ganduje, the person of the governor. He had a major crisis before the election. And he is really, but don't also forget that PDP was also bedeviled with issues.
How did he manage that crisis?
It was
He
not
went to
managed.
court,
No, it
he
was
went
not.
to-
No, it was not managed.
It was not managed.
It was just swept under the carpet.
It was not. In fact, if it had been swept over, it would have been better. He
No,
wanted to ride on the popularity of
No.
the president.
No, legitimately he went to the state house court to stop the state house.
But you and I
from
understand.
stopping
Yes.
inquest into.
But you and I understand that he belongs to a party that is fighting corruption. So if you now see a governor of a party that is fighting telling the assembly you cannot look into this via the court, the people see what you are talking
But the
about.
president agreed with him.
The president didn't. The president said find him guilty.
Yes. That's what the president said.
That's fair.
He has
Yes.
not been tried by
He
any
has not been
court.
tried by
Yes.
any court.
And
The assembly ought to do that. He got a court injunction. But the people who are the final deciders were not fooled. Why don't you allow the assembly to look into this? Then you have something to hide. This is what we are saying. The people tried him in their own public opinion.
That's a video.
Appear they are finding him
That's
guilty.
a video.
That,
You
those are
cannot
evidence-
change that. There are evidences to
He
show
was
that
tried in
in
the
this
people's
era of
court.
Photoshop
yeah.
and everything.
In this era.
the guy that did the person that was involved, the contractor came out, spoke, and granted interview.
But that's-
And you see, and the problem with Gandhi is that you can still win. You can, because you see, the number of votes that is in play is more than it's just being it's just behind with
Far
about
more than the lead.
23,000, 23,000 about behind. So it can still win. But why I'm happy is that it shows that for whatever is worth, our vote still counts.
The people are now deciding.
Yes, it shows
They are
that.
deciding.
I told somebody when somebody said the election, and I said, look, Yes, there were irregularities there and there were violence and all that. But when you look at it in totality, you will see that we are making progress.
Yes.
Because in an election,
When you see what
where
happened
the,
in
when the
Oyo
president
State,
of the
look at
Senate can
Oyo.
lose
The
election,
people-
when the sitting governor can lose a senatorial election, a governor that
at
has
Ogun.
performed, who was the only governor that
That
won
done
two
two
times
times.
in Oyo, and he could
couldn't
not win.
go back to,
He could not win the
his
senatorial
senatorial district.
seat.
11 local
It shows
governments.
that the people are discerning enough to say, look,
We
there are
want
certain
this.
things we won't agree because of the PR of the governor of Oyo State. That was what cost him that seat.
Yes.
It's not as if he didn't perform. He did very well. So if people believe that, oh, even if the system protests Ganduje, we do
will
not
reject
like
him.
what he has done, so we're going to reject him.
That's
That is
what
very
we are
good for the
saying.
system. That's
Yeah,
what is happening.
it's good for
Why
the-
is that
like
not
I
good?
said,
It's
it's
good for
good.
the system. It's good for our development. It's good for the system.
But it is bad for party politics.
Not so.
On the part of the
Because we
president.
have a
now.
leader, because we have a leader that refuses to
Dari,
play politics.
exactly.
That-
Dari.
no, not play politics, but that refuses to show leadership.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
the president
okay,
has refused to show
Dari,
I
leadership.
think it's just
Time and
he's
time again.
refusing to
Dari,
play politics.
I have some friends. They are of the opinion that what went down in the presidential election, because their candidate did not win,
Yeah.
that election was rigged by the Independent National Electoral Commission.
Okay.
That no matter what you say, that election, because some people were disenfranchised, and that election was actually rigged.
Okay.
And I take pain in making them to do. But can you look at what happened in Oyo State? Look at what happened in Akwa Ibom to Senator Akpabio. Look at what happened. People identified
That
as
happened
in Bauchi, as we're
Bauchi.
talking about.
That is going on in Kano.
That happened
The
in
governor of
Gombe.
That
Bauchi might not survive that onslaught.
That
As
is
even
happening
Gombe.
in Adamawa. Don't.
Yeah.
You see, AY, I understand what you are driving at, and there are some people, some Nigerians. No matter what you say, no matter what INEC does, no matter the outcome of any election, they will simply not believe in the system. That it is not about party now. I know somebody who is not even partisan, but he made up his mind. INEC can just not get it right.
Okay.
And
Okay, let's talk about Plateau State now.
Oh, good.
Now you can see Plateau State. The
Yes.
figure, Governor Simon Lailong, that's the incumbent governor,
Yes.
is scored 583,255.
that's about 50.
Now, Lieutenant General Jeremiah Oseni, Jerry Boy, actually scored 538,326. Now, the number of council votes that we have here is 49,377.
Yeah.
And when
the
you look
margin.
at the margin,
44,000 something. Look, let's look
That's
at a state like
Plateau
Plateau.
State.
I don't see the magic PDP will do in Plateau. Let's be realistic. If you have 49,000 votes to contest for, and somebody is already leading with 44,000, so you will have to cancel 44,000 and get the whole of 5,000 to win the election. So if at the end of this, because I've been reading a lot of things, even from Plateau, if at the end of the day APC is declared winner in a Plateau, for example, and some people are crying foul, it will be those who don't want to believe in the system. The
So
case in
that's-
Plateau is settled.
so Simon Lailong might be
He's
costing
looking
home for
good.
just his coronation.
Yes, it's just coronation.
All right.
And somebody wants to blame my neck
Okay,
for this.
look at Adamawa. Look at Adamawa's case now. Governor Jubrila Bindo, 334,995 to Umoru Finturi, that's 366,861. Cancelled vote 40,000.
988.
Now, the margin in which Governor Finturi
Is
is
leading.
leading, I mean, the PDP candidate is leading, the APC candidate is 32,000. And we have cancelled votes of 40,000. Gentlemen, do the mathematics for
You
us.
see, when you look at that, in fact, sometimes I can
So there's something
understand.
to play for in
What-
Adamawa State.
No, there's nothing to-
8,000. There's nothing to play for.
You know why there's nothing to play for? The reason for it was because the council vote, the law says, is the law. If not that INEC is following the law,
Strictly.
they
This
should have
should have been
announced. They
declared.
should have been. They should have
So
announced.
Umoru
the
Philip
public.
3 might
He's looking
Yeah,
good.
because
capture Adamawa
if you are
State.
leading with-
That's of the
if you are
People's
leading with-
Democratic
if you are
Party.
leading with
I think this
32,000
guy was
He was an
one-time
acting governor at the
Yes,
time.
if you look at if you
Was an
look
acting
at
governor.
30, if you are leading with 32,000 and the vote that's in play is 40,000, it is not possible for them
But
to
to
have
cancel
100%.
32
It's
and
not
beat
possible.
the eight.
It's not possible for them to have 100%.
And then,
Turnout.
sorry, another issue is we should be considering the strongholds of who these elections are taking place. By now you look at that, you will understand how these things will play out in some of these states.
Okay, I think let's see Bauchi State or Sokoto State, and let's know what we have to play for.
Let's go to
but
Bauchi.
the Independent National Electoral. Okay, this is Benue now. Benue State, we have Governor Emmanuel Samuel Otom with 410,000 votes. And the APC candidate 329,022. Now the margin is 81,000 difference, and the cancelled votes 121. That means there's something to play for.
Well, it will take more than just playing for something. It will take a miracle. Let's be realistic.
For
APC to overturn this deficit.
You see, because you know why?
So the margin is 81,000.
Let's look at
the difference is 40,000.
The
difference is 40,000. But when you look at that 40,000, the council votes is votes that were not allowed to play in a particular region. Yes. Talking about all the registered voters in that region.
Not voting.
You understand what I'm saying?
Not all of them will
and
vote.
You know, you won't get more than 60%.
Not
all of them will vote.
We have PVC.
Not all of them will even come to vote.
Okay, let's
not all of them will come to vote.
Let's look at areas that this voting has been taking place.
Dari, do you know that somebody did a calculation and told me that 72 million Nigerians actually collected PVC.
How many people are
for
voting?
the presidential election?
Yes.
That 46 million Nigerians sat down at home.
That is
sat down at home. They didn't vote. They have their PVC. Collected their PVC.
So what percentage? What percentage is that? That's 60%.
You cannot get more than 60%
President
for in any polling booth.
That's even 60% sitting at home.
That's what I'm saying.
That's even 60% sitting. So let's assume, without considering 40%
the Kano state we've spoken about. Look at Kano.
The margin is 26,000.
Wow.
Votes to. This is where there is a contest.
This one is in play.
So something to play for. 128,000 people.
It can go either way.
This one is in play because the margin is just 26,000 and you have 128.
But for the incumbent governor is disadvantaged.
Of course. No, he is.
Look,
to have lost a state
is not.
Really.
It's really because we are looking at it. Because where you are going to, what is in play is the urban centers.
Okay.
You understand? It's the urban centers. And
he didn't do well in the urban centers.
That's what I'm saying. It's the urban centers.
He didn't do well in the urban centers.
So anybody can take that.
128,000 to play for here
out of 26. So
now the margin is 26,000.
102.
So this one is in play. Anybody can win this.
Even if 50% of this comes to vote, that's over 60,000.
That's over 60,000.
You can easily
only take over this
28%.
Yes.
So it is dicey.
This one is in play because anybody can win Kano.
This is where you should be talking about.
Anybody can win Kano.
Yes. And I believe that APC still has a very strong chance in Kano.
And then there's something we need to look at in Kano.
But
Kano
what was Ganduje looking for the PDP candidates?
See,
with over 1 million. The Kano people might have spoken.
No. Kano people has a tradition of voting and voting well.
Yeah.
If you have 128,000 people yet to vote in Kano, it is too early to say anybody is disadvantaged.
You can be rest assured that
80,000 people 120 can vote. Go and check the track record of Kano. They vote and they vote well. Where they will put their vote is what we should be worried about.
This seems to be a battle between former governor
Kwakwanso
and his protege. Ganduje.
Let me say something.
Not really.
There are other.
Really. There are a lot of other forces that are against Ganduje. Like I said earlier, the elite, a lot of elite. Okay,
let's look at Governor Aminu Tambuwal here.
In Sokoto.
A big battle.
This is open.
489,558. To the margin of the APC guy of 486,145. Now the margin is 3,410.
This one is in play.
This is open. What's the?
This one is 3,000 can be.
Let's have the votes to.
This one is in play.
This is open.
This one is in play.
It's for anybody to say PDP is winning as one Sokoto. It's
just a joke.
It's a joke.
That means Right Honorable Aminu Bello
can still lose Sokoto.
Is fighting a battle.
Yes, can still lose Sokoto. Yes.
Sokoto State.
Yes.
And you know why you need to look at it.
The difference is just 3,000.
APC won 2 senatorial districts. PDP won 1. In Sokoto. So at the presidential election, APC had serious upper hand. Now, Tambuwal has even done very well. It's a big comeback to be involved in a rerun with APC. It's a very big comeback. Nobody gave him a chance.
The reason for that, like I
said,
is
local politics.
It's a local. Every politics is local. Yes. The people of Sokoto, they are still okay with Tambuwal.
Many of
them. Many of them. The elites of Sokoto, many of them are still with Tambuwal.
I say many of them because he didn't have a clear victory here.
Yes, but you see,
what happened?
When you look at
in Sokoto State,
he won very well.
Very clearly.
You see, the difference is that people were going with Buhari
It was
but
a Buhari magic.
he was able to normally APC is supposed to run on that Buhari magic.
And just clear the state.
They're supposed to run on the Buhari magic. But that didn't happen. He was
Because
able to
Tambuwal
be
is
able
still
to
on
yes,
ground.
because he's on ground, he was able to pull back a lot of forces.
It's a big comeback.
But that one is in play. That one is in play.
It's a clear.
Kano and Sokoto is in play.
Let's go to River State.
What
State,
is that?
INEC has made it official. I think Rivers and Bauchi that they are going to continue
The collation. And this is what we expect
Now,
INEC to have done.
The British government actually expressed their reservation, and they said they could substantiate it that the military played a role in the Rivers election. And INEC has gone to confirm that. They set up a committee, and the committee has confirmed it that actually in disrupting coalition, that the military, Nigerian military, actually played a role. What do you make of this?
That is very sad. And why it is sad is that our politicians have to be careful not to allow soldiers to get involved in the democratic process. You see, it's like riding the tiger. It is better for the soldiers to stay back, take authority take orders from civil authorities, and do the job they are supposed to do, which is to protect the territorial borders of Nigeria. But when you start using them because you have influence or you have contacts within the army, you are allowing them to dabble into something that could lead into other things. Because we should not forget that the intervention of military in our politics set us back so many years. And we should not encourage them to start enjoying getting involved again.
Okay, we'll take this breather. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalist Hangout, reaching you live from Television Continental. I'll be right back after this time out. Please stay with us. This is Journalist Hangout. We're reaching you from the station of the year, Television Continental, live in Lagos and Nigeria here. And we are looking at the by-election scheduled to take place in some states. A rerun election? Oh, I think rerun election. Yep, okay.
Supplementary election, extra election.
In some particular states. So it's going to be a busy weekend for some of us. And we're looking at those states and what to play for. Now, River States. When I was checking at the roster of who is going where, I wasn't looking forward to cover River States for anything as a journalist because I don't know. I've had to cover election like 4 times in River State. Uche Okoro, their correspondent, he knows we're always doing this together. But when you get to a time in your life and you begin to look at every other house in some areas in River State, and ammunitions, it's all about struggle. Now APC is not in this race.
You see, what is
APC is not in this race. So
what is happening?
Is the busybody of APC there?
The thing in Rivers is this. You see, I've had the British government and some other foreign observers saying the army meddled in the affairs of the election in Rivers. We should also be bold enough to say thuggery, violence, and other things played out as if it was second nature in Rivers. Now, why is it so? These are states, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and some states like that are states where elections in the past don't take place. All the players, all the big players, all the who have always been in one camp. So let's even say one camp, a one-party affair, and they will sit down and allocate figures. Now, something happened. They are in different camps. You just mentioned it. APC is not even contesting. But the APC gladiators there looked around and said, okay, we will go with this party. Look at the drama in Rivers. APC was sent out of the race by the courts. And everybody started hearing and saying that APC is looking in the direction of Accord. And then Briggs. It was all over the place. APC was, when people expected APC chieftains to complain, everybody was quiet. And we knew something was going on in that state. Shortly before that election again, Accord was thrown out of the race by the courts again. Briggs was thrown out. The entire Accord list was rejected by the courts again. Then everybody felt, oh, it was going to be a walk in the park for Wike and Co. Then we started hearing of Shore's party.
African Democratic?
Not Democratic, African Alliance, whatever. And then they were in the race.
And before you say Jack Robinson,
the
it
young
was all
man
over
was
the
a
social
top
media
contender.
to tell you that, oh, the man is even leading the race.
He's leading
Meanwhile, that might not be the...
What happened? The question we should be asking ourselves, what happened? It became impossible for figures to be written. And where it also, the people who should vote thought it was going to be business as usual. They were not keen about voting. Nobody should deceive us about what is happening in Rivers. The people sat at home as usual. The warlords and the gladiators went for the ballot papers as usual. What we are seeing playing out is the struggle, the scramble for who gets the higher number of ballot papers.
Now,
And then it has to be done with guns and machetes and other things.
INEC is saying, look, we have a fair idea of what happened in Rivers State, and we are going to go ahead with the process of
collating results.
The result. By this time tomorrow, INEC is saying that we are going to continue Rivers State, Rivers of Blood.
I agree with them. And why I will tell you, why I agree is that the problem that they had in the Rivers, apart from the violence has always been second nature in Rivers. If you remember that the last election, that was the way it was cancelled, and they had to come back and be doing the senatorial elections and all that. It was cancelled and it was done several times on assembly seats. Violence is second nature by. But the problem that we're having now is started 4 years ago when the key men now were against each other. So because they are not in the same party anymore, you cannot allocate results. So you have to look for votes. And when you want to look for votes, I think the major problem in this last election has to do with the collation of the votes that was cast. So if INEC, based on their investigation, confirmed that voting took place and that the problem came about during the time of collation, what they just need to do, because don't forget that results were declared in every polling units. These results were declared in every polling unit. So it's still possible to come back based on those facts that's on ground to do the collation. Because the military didn't allow them to do collation. That was the problem.
Why? Because, see, those who disrupted collations at local government, level. Some of these issues, we saw it on TV, where policemen were overpowered.
Yeah.
And soldiers have to come in. If we continue to say all these activities by soldiers were disruptions, we will not be fair on them.
Yes, I agree with that. Yes.
Some of the things we're interpreting as soldiers disrupting were actually efforts, some of them, I'm not saying all, were efforts by the soldiers to safeguard the situation by helping the police. There are situations like this in some local governments. Some party shiftings and talks moved in, saying the figures they are bringing from so ward is false because...
Who drafted the military? Gentlemen, simple question. Because for you to have been able to draft, if you are... I know the president is the commander.
It's only the government that can draft the military. We should not have, that's
and
right.
the box stops.
That's right.
But
the only person that can draft it is the government
to stop coalition in River State.
The soldiers were already drafted to the states, told where their assignment starts and where it ends. But let me ask you a question. A Nigerian soldier staying on the road where he ought to stay during the election, hearing that policemen, a commissioner of police, and I said, have been abducted and he's been taken away by thugs, is an example. Should he not make effort to interfere as a Nigerian soldier? It's a question.
They should.
Where we have such instances and they interfere, we should not call it disruption.
Okay, what
but
the
where
British
they were,
government is saying is that they stopped the process of coalition.
what is? See, I am not making case for the soldiers.
That's what you are doing.
No. Let me explain what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is, we need to draw the line of what they ought to do and what they ought not to do.
Yes.
If
and what they did.
And what they did.
Okay.
If you get to a collection center and the place has been dispersed, the agents of other parties have been sent away, and some people were pretending over the process. We heard of something in Imo. After everything, somebody came out and said, I declared the result under duress. If a soldier happens to get to a place where some people were under duress, was he supposed to fold his arms?
No. I agree with you on that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
But of course, they overstep their boundaries in many other places.
That is the key.
But not in all.
Not
That's
in all. Of course, not in all. It is their duty. It is their duty to, because they were supposed to provide backup security. That's what they're supposed to do. So if their commander realizes that there's danger, and for them to interfere, yes, I agree with that. But in this case, the observers claimed they stopped the collation of results, which is illegal.
Well, they didn't
It's
tell
not their
us why
duty.
they stopped the collation.
That is what.
Why?
That is what.
That's,
no,
I've read all
it's
through
part
the
of it.
observer's report.
That's what they said.
And sincerely, none of them have been able to say this was why they stopped collation. Let's be fair to the soldiers.
Yeah.
Not any of the reports said this is the reason adduced for stopping collation.
because because they didn't give any reason.
Then the observer said
The observers
was
just
going
no,
on
there was,
peacefully.
no. The observer said that there was evidence that the military
Fine.
did not allow collation of results.
Some
Gentlemen,
observer also told us in that
that's-
same local
on a final
government
note,
there was violence and chaos.
Barry, on a final note, APC, in Bauchi State, they're not happy, saying that why did INEC, that is meant to hold a supplementary election in Bauchi State, why are they talking about continuing the collation process?
INEC gave a reason.
For
INEC gave a reason, and in my opinion, a very good reason. That, oh yes, we stopped collation based on certain reports that there were some anomalies. Then we set up a committee to review the
go and look at
situation.
it.
And the committee came out and said, no, from all indications, nothing really was wrong in that place. We can go ahead and declare the results there or continue collation. I mean,
I agree
INEC
with
is
that
acting
absolutely.
with absolutely.
Yes,
I see
because
nothing wrong
INEC
with
is
that.
different from APC.
INEC is not APC. It's
INEC
not
is
an
not
appendage
APC.
of APC.
It's not
INEC is not APC.
It's not an extension of APC.
INEC is
Not
not.
at all.
INEC
You want
is
to
just an
convince
agency
some
of
Nigerians?
government.
But it is not.
But it is not.
Okay, maybe we should say it ought not to be.
It ought not to be. But it is not.
It is not.
Are you saying with
It
the
is
note
not.
of
It is not.
finality?
It is
It is
not.
not.
It is not.
It ought not to be.
To me,
be.
to me, it is not. And I'll tell you why it is not.
Okay.
Somebody as desperate, even the president uttered the word that he believed that Akpabio won in Akwa Ibom.
Yeah.
Even the president said so. And that they are going to fight for their mandate.
In the court.
You understand what I'm saying? So if APC, if somebody who is to be a minority leader, who the president is even interested in his election, if he could not win his senatorial district, how can you tell me that
INEC is an appendage.
INEC is an appendage of
let's
government?
be
How?
fair. Let's give some slacks for INEC.
INEC
In
is not
this
perfect.
election.
I agree. But you
Errors
see,
have been
when
made.
you look at elections in Nigeria, in a developing society like ours, mistakes will be made. People will be compromised.
Yeah.
Violence will stop elections in some places.
Yeah.
Some people will want to try
That
to
reminds
see
me of
how they can,
Mike Guinea.
how they can
I came
outsmart
to Akwa Ibom to count votes and not money.
money. Yes. So
But
people
that's
want
the
to do
sta-
things.
See, when we begin
Very,
to
very-
say nothing's
Yes.
good is coming out of the process, we are not helping the process.
We are not helping the process.
This 2019 election, what we should do is place it side by side previous elections. We should just look at 2015.
No, I
and
think it's too
2019.
early.
No.
Let's
No,
look
no,
at
no.
the number of litigation, post-election.
No, litigations
Even
will
if you
come.
look at it,
The
it's
litigations
better.
will come.
This election is better because
It's
when,
not better.
when you look at it,
In terms of
2015,
violence?
no,
Forget violence.
Yeah.
Violence
What
is
would
not.
I-
No,
Violence is
there
not
was violence
something
in 2015.
that-
but
what?
there were some results in that 2015 that were unbelievable.
You could sit down. You could sit down in 2015 and say this is how it will go.
And
It is
people
not
were
happening
writing
now.
results. Yes, but
Is it
now,
possible
It's
with
not
the
happening now.
candidate?
You said
I thought with the introduction of card
but
readers.
why don't
things
you
are
ask, why
better.
don't you ask the question that why is it that a lot of states, apart from Kado, a lot of states could not post the kind of figures they posted in 2015?
so we are still waiting for the figures in Bayelsa.
Why
the
did you
figures
why
in,
did you ask ourselves like
Delta.
that? It shows that INEC has been able to stop certain things. They were not able to stop certain things. You understand? They will get better. They
It's
will
a
get
gradual
better.
process.
It's a gradual process. They will get better.
a gradual
But as far as
process.
I'm concerned, I believe that based on certain things that happen in certain states and those who lost elections here and there, we are moving forward.
Moving on now, it is sad to note. It is sad to note that it takes a dose of disaster to jolt us into taking life-saving decisions as a country. After the Lagos collapse building incident last Wednesday, which claimed 20 lives, most of them children, the state government has intensified efforts to move against the occurrence. Lagos State Building Control Agency began demolition of structures with defects. The agency has brought down many structurally defective buildings in Lagos Island since it began the exercise on Friday, bringing the number of demolished structures to 15 so far. But will this bring sanity to proliferation of distressed and dilapidated buildings in the state? Gentlemen,
No? It will not.
Somebody is asking that how come we don't have heads rolling in that agency, Lagos State Building Control Agency?
You know why? Because we like hypocrisy in this country, and it has to do with politics. It has to do with politics. The state, it is the duty of the state to look at the general good,
Yes.
and take decisions that will be in the interest of the generality of the people.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like between the
Political
devil
yes,
and
you look at what is politically expedient.
Yes, because you just realize, when you look at Lagos Island, there are a lot of families in Lagos Island that have been there since the time of the slaves, the return of the slaves from Brazil. A lot of these houses are as old as before the independence. Families live there. Even some of them live in condition that is not right, that is not hygienic enough. But they are used to the place. They don't want to leave the place.
Tafaji.
They don't want to leave the place. So when the government comes and says,
You have to go.
oh, this place is not good for you guys, let us relocate you to another
And you
place.
see those buildings, most of them, they are just like, tilted buildings.
No,
They are
you
not
know why?
standing right.
You know why? Because
Standing firm.
because
The
if
space
you
they are
remember,
using-
if you remember, Lagos Island used to be that small space that's the economic center of Lagos then. That's where Arise building started going up from. Because they don't have the land.
no space.
The space, there's no space there.
So you see-
what happened is that you see a bungalow,
and
a
then
bungalow that a house has been a bungalow since 1950
just-
something.
you
or
just
90
grow
something.
up.
Somebody will come
A
and claim he's
developer.
a developer. You understand? Go and collect something and then demolish
For
that
commercial
bungalow
purpose. And then
and bring
send
a
it up.
5-story building or 4-story building in that small
In that
space.
narrow
Sometimes they don't even bother to demolish that. Maybe 1-story building, they just put pillar here and there
And send
and
it
then
up.
take it up. Yes, government is aware that these things should not be allowed. I know, but you see, like I said, politically it may not be expedient. You cannot. There's a limit to. Government have already marked those places, a lot of houses in that area, but they don't have the political will to
Willpower.
do that. Because if you go there now, these people may say, "Oh, this government has taken the means of livelihood.
We'll finish
we
the
will
election
support
now.
them again."
See, I
will
don't
face governance.
always agree with this political will thing. It is one thing that is keeping us where we are and preventing us from going to where we ought to be. 4 years. Every government is elected in Nigeria for 4 years. Even the local government. Now, it used to be 3. Now it's 4.
Now it's 4 years.
So if you have 4 years, the outgoing government was elected 2015. I mean, sworn in, yes, elected and sworn in 2015.
Yes.
If the government before lacked the political will to do these things, 2013, 2014, and the government came in 2015, I expected that government would quickly use 2015 and 2016 to wrap up those important things that political will can affect, like telling these people, because the roads are being constructed, houses are being demolished. People are always shouting. People say, no, don't demolish the house, don't break a house. But governments all over the world will go there and say, look, for the common interest, for public good, even to be enjoyed by you, these houses have to go. And those houses will be demolished.
I've just been informed that another building collapsed in Okeari area
yes.
of Lagos Island.
Yes,
this
about,
evening.
about an hour ago, yes.
Yes, this evening.
Before we
Okeari
started
area.
the program, yes.
So another building actually collapsed in Okeari area. Gentlemen, there's
lives
fire
will
on
be
the
lost
mountain.
now.
That means
Lives
this
injured.
process.
A lot of houses in those places. That's what I was
It will be
explaining to him.
holistic.
What I'm explaining to him is that it is not something that is involving one house, two houses.
I understand.
It's a lot of houses.
But then should we just
And
be
for us
watching?
to be able to take them
And
on.
you know the big thing there, immediately is demolished. Those houses are demolished. Immediately they're demolished. It's going to be taken over by the government.
Okay, can we relax the rules? Okay, this is where I
Do not relax that
This is
one.
where I was going.
That immediately we
No.
have to pull your building down for you.
why?
That we pull it down for
Ayo,
you.
let's-
It becomes
Ayo, let's-
an
let me
automatic
make this
property
point.
of government.
If that is one of the problems, can we now sit down, relax the rule and say, okay,
Can you allow me to pull my building down myself?
can you
When I see that the integrity, the building did not pass
you're
the
getting
integrity
it.
test. Okay,
Can I
Lagos
pull my
did
own building down
building
myself
control.
and rebuild it?
Yes.
Yes, that's what the government said they should do.
No. One, that's two. Government itself can say, okay, because we have to do this and we know it's not convenient, we know some people will be affected, we'll pull this down for you. Then you rebuild it to conform with rules laws are made for men, not meant for laws. If we relax some of the rules, like we'll take it over if we pull it down. Some of them want the building down actually. They don't have the resources to do that. It's not cheap. Then let me also say, I was reading something on Facebook. Somebody said he's being haunted for pointing out defective houses in Ireland and they want to kill him now. He wrote it on Facebook, my life is in danger. Somebody answered him and said, you went to point to the house of somebody's father and now government demolished it, they have taken over the land. Do you know how many years they've been trying to raise money to demolish it?
But we're using sentiments. That's the sentiment.
Let me make that point.
Lagos Okari area now, we don't know how many lives
have been lost again. The guy also added that developers will say, if we demolish this house for you, we'll rebuild it into 4 stories. We'll give your family only 1.
That's what they used to
do. We'll take 3. So if we have all these things militating against
incentives,
government should now come with incentives. Your house is defective.
What I would say is that
let's relax the rules.
When you are a governor, I want to appeal to the incoming governor.
Exactly.
The incoming governor.
That's Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu.
That look, you still have 6 months, a year, like where you can play with. When you do things in 6 months, 1 year of your being on government, people can get angry and forget about it.
He's a fan of journalists.
They should use that opportunity to make sure that all those defect houses in Lagos Island is pulled down. They have to do that. I know that's why I said
it will take a lot of political will.
You can only do that. You can only do that early in that tenure, or the present governor can do that because he can use the next 3 months to do that.
This one's to help the administration that is in.
Will they be compensated? Those
are the things we need to bring in.
Overnight, we are going to be pulling structures, and they have tenants.
What I would suggest is this. These houses, a lot of these houses are old, and these people, they have rights to this land. They've been in this land forever, from maybe 4 or 5 generations. If I'm the governor of Lagos State, what I would do is that I will bring down all these houses, but I will pay compensation to the owners of those buildings, so that it can help them to be able to move on with their lives.
So I'll bring all.
Yes, I will take all the houses that are defective. I will bring all of them, that even if it is 1,000, but I will make sure that I pay compensation to each of them. Because when there's right of way, when government say we want the right of way, they compensate people
when we do
that they demolish the houses.
There should be discussion if it's possible for government to legally and financially acquire these spaces. Okay, can we discuss? Can government take over these places and will pay you legit? I mean, adequately.
It's the same thing.
Instead of saying
it's the same compensation.
That's what I'm
the same compensation.
So then you now create space. I mean, make the place habitable.
Because the right of way, when you do the right of way, because when there's right of way, when you're building roads and there are some houses in the right of way,
properly.
You pay compensations to them and you bring them down, and everybody is happy.
I
think that's what government should do.
Okay. Gentlemen, I want to thank you.
It's a pleasure.
I want to thank you, Dari Odufoko, for being a guest. And Mayor Akipelu, thank you so much. Hopefully, Babajide Kolade Oditoju will be joining us tomorrow. And that's it on Journalist Hangout today. Join us again tomorrow for another episode of the program. We're also on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangouts at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. Bye for now. See you tomorrow. God bless Nigeria.